instance, okay. People look at me and go, well, that maybe is all well and good, but what's the difference between you and anyone else? You know, like, you just sound like someone who sounds certain of himself and is just another narcissistic, pathological liar trying to influence people or make money or whatever. Buy my book. But yeah, okay, whatever. But in the end, I think, you see, the reason I'm trying to paint a picture for you people that are interested in actually what's going on in my book and on my videos, and then the next book, I'm writing another book, which will be out in early 2023. I was talking to Phil Mantle at Flying Express, and he's got a spot for me early in 2023. So that gives me plenty of time to really hone the manuscript and create some more sketches. And yeah, and a big element of the second book's going to be about tall white language, you know, the Sierra Sounds, the samurai speech and that kind of stuff, which I'm really getting stuck into research and that kind of thing, and also trying to elicit original sounds from them. We'll see how that goes, like that I can record myself. But anyway, so what was I talking about? Yeah, me. Yeah. So, you know, if I say to you, the tall whites are from Orion, and I say I'm in contact with beings and they're tall white, what Charles Hall calls tall whites, and to me, his description of the beings is more or less identical with the beings that I know. And I looked and read his books, and I'm like, that's interesting, but he doesn't mention they're from Orion. He doesn't know where they're from. Suspects they might be from Arcturus, blah, blah, blah. Well, they're originally from here anyway, but let's not get into that for now. Okay. Let's go looking for them through history. We can find them. I show that to you. I find them. You know, especially the Gaelic Sheechan or Ishlan, more or less identical with tall whites as described by Charles Hall. Barking, growling, pale beings with big eyes. I mean, Antonio Villas-Boas met barking, growling beings pale with blue eyes. And the symbols on the craft were more decipherable than these ones here, that show what 3 dots that lays out to match Orion's belt. These photos of these beings here. Are quite similar to the beings that I know and have been drawing since before these images seem to have sprung up online. What do these images look like? They look like this. What's in the background of that? Oh, it's Orion's belt again. Now, Sierra Sounds. There are Orions or Mudgeonah, tall whites. I made a video about that. It's a video I've since taken down because I felt a little bit bad about having like a full playing of all of Ron Moorhead's Sierra Sounds on my channel when he's, you know, they're his recordings. I mean, I suppose no one owns the Sierra Sounds, but still, I was thinking, you know, like, he's trying to sell his CDs on his channel and on his website shit. But I've got it up there for free, so I ended up pulling the pin on it. But making a video about the Sierra Sounds and how they sound like tall whites to me, and I've heard them myself, and liken it to the stuff that Charles Hall talks about, blah, 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 blah. And then, since then, found the Soria abduction, where a guy gives an excellent description when he met tall whites of more or less perfect description of the Sierra Sounds, um, associated with tall whites. Okay, all this kind of stuff. I lay it out there for you dudes. You know, my sketch of the Boas suit helmet. I did that a year and a half, maybe 2 years before. What's his face? Trey Hudson. Sorry, dude. Uh, uh, Wrote his book, The Meadow Project, which is an excellent book, by the way. Which I don't have to hand, but anyway, I could do some ASR on that baby. ASMR on that for you. Probably best. I can't find it. Now, yeah, and he talks about samurai speech they're hearing and lots of different elements on the CT profile that I've showed it, and even this totem, this fucking totem. Is very, very similar. I think most people will agree. There's more than a passing resemblance to my drawings of these military cloaking suits, glowing red-eyed suits that I've seen. How can you make this shit up? You see, that's what I'm bringing to the table, okay? It's actually fucking real, right? Now, people can look at it as a theory or a hypothesis, what I say in my book, or books, and on my channel. To me, they're not hypotheses. It's not a hypothesis or a theory. To me, it's a claim. It's true, and I suppose you'd say it's a claim. I'm claiming to know these things. I'm claiming to have seen these beings. I'm claiming to... I think some of it I've worked out myself, but that gets a little bit blurry as to how much they're helping me and how much they're not. But anyway, but still, for other people who don't have access to the world I have access to and can't believe me face value, and they consider it obviously from a hypothetical standpoint. I understand. It's a theory to other people. They look at it and they consider it in that way. And what I have said many times before, and I can't remember who said this to me now, but someone I used to know said it to me. Something along the lines of, you know that a hypothesis is true when it answers everything. Even those little things you had never before thought of applying it to. I think those who come into contact with my writings and my presentations online, using this as a tool and considering other cases of Forteana in general and paranormal cases, UFO cases and stuff like that, will appreciate that it explains almost everything. If not everything, almost everything. Okay, well and good. And then also we've got these added things of being able to draw sketches of things before there's photos taken of similar things in situations where there's high strangeness occurring, you know, and okay. So that's what I'm bringing to the table. So that is my answer to people say, hey, hold on a second, dude. What if you were just another fucking narcissist, dude? And I'd say, well, look at what I'm saying. Don't just take my word for it, because that's the problem, because people, you know, I don't want people... Some people say to me, I've had people saying to me as well, like, you seem like a genuine kind of guy. You seem like you know what you're talking about. I'm going to trust you. And I was like, no. Don't trust me. Don't fucking just take my word for it. Look at what I'm saying. Look at the details. Okay? The minutiae of what I'm saying and then make a decision as to what you think about what I'm saying and the paradigm of reality, where the beings are, who they are, what relationship they have to us, what kind of technologies they have, their languages, etc. and so on. I don't leave much unrevealed. I've had experiences happen to me that I haven't talked about in books. I'm going to put a lot more of my own experiences in the second book, but there are a lot of experiences I've had that I don't really like talking about too much or considering again because they make me sad, or some of them, but I'm not keeping much under my hat when it comes to my understanding about who the beings are, why they're here, what they look like, what they sound like, and get out there and fucking find them. Well, actually find them in person. Yes, have a go at that. Some people are going to launch initiatives into doing that, from what I understand, that have read my book. But then also find them in the literature, paranormal literature, the literature pertaining to non-human entities through the centuries. But I've been looking into the jinn a little bit more, and it's very interesting that the jinn, as understood in the Middle East by Arabic and Persian culture, big dudes in pre-Islamic understandings of the world, but then it continued, spilled over into Islam as well. They've retained this idea, the belief in these entities, but I didn't realize how identical they were to the Gaelic fairies. Just descriptions of the same beings, and ipso facto with the Ufonauts. Anyway, cool. I suppose maybe that'll just do, eh?